There are still 10 days until the glacial apocalypse. Everyone in the residential complex thinks I've gone mad, mortgaging my home to loan sharks, ordering over 100 takeouts like crazy, and sweeping supermarket shelves without even blinking. Neighbor Annie Wong pressured me to donate, and I sneered. You won't donate a single cent, so what gives you the right to make me pay? My ex-girlfriend called to curse me out as a scumbag, and I hung up on her directly. No one knows that 10 days from now money will turn into waste paper, and the supplies in my mind are enough to keep me fed until the end of the world. The people laughing at me now had better not come knocking on my door then. My name is Lin Luo. When I woke up, the date on my phone told me that there were only a dozen or so days left until the glacial apocalypse descended. It wasn't a nightmare, nor was it a hallucination. An infinitely vast alternate space had appeared in my mind. Anything placed inside would have time frozen, meals wouldn't spoil, and fresh food wouldn't stink. This was the only chance at survival I gained before I froze to death in that tiny room in my previous life, in exchange for staining my ancestral necklace with blood. In my previous life, Earth suddenly entered a little ice age, temperatures plummeted, and supplies were cut off. I stockpiled a full year's worth of food, thinking I could tough it out. But then Su Xuanyu called, saying she was about to starve to death, and in a moment of impulsiveness, I brought her home. Then she secretly let the rich second-generation heir Zhao Su in, and the two of them joined forces to beat me half to death, snatch away all the supplies, and lock me in an empty room. I held on for 3 days amid hunger, cold, and excruciating pain, and in the end I died without a sound. This time, I won't be stupid again. I picked up my phone and started placing orders like mad. 10 portions of Longjiang braised pork knuckle rice, 5 portions of Peking duck, swansai fish, mala dry pot, crayfish, everything I could think of, I ordered it all. In less than half an hour, my 60-square-meter living room was piled full of takeout bags. The delivery guy even thought I was throwing a party. I gave everything 5-star reviews, shut the door, and with a thought, all the takeout on the floor was instantly stored away in the alternate space. Fresh, piping hot food was 100 times better than the instant noodles and canned food from my previous life. What does money amount to? In a few more days, banknotes will be nothing but waste paper. I only have 500,000 in savings, all scraped together through years of living frugally. I could have had more, but Su Xuanyu, that bottomless pit, drained it all away. I used to think sincerity could be exchanged for sincerity. It wasn't until she smiled at Zhao Su while stepping over my corpse that I realized I was just a backup, a complete and utter tool. I put on my coat and went out to Guangxing Grand Hotel to pick up the 10 banquet tables I had reserved at 6,000 per table. King crab, giant lobster, caviar. I sat alone in a private room and feasted ruthlessly. I put all the leftovers into the alternate space. After the apocalypse, not even a mountain of gold could buy this kind of thing. The moment I stepped out of the private room, I ran into a shameless cheating couple in the lobby. Su Xuanyu was dressed in Chanel, carrying an LV bag, clinging to the short, fat Zhao Su, her chest practically squashed out of shape. When she saw me, she instinctively said, "Lin Luo, listen to my explanation." I sneered. A man and a woman coming to a hotel. What else could you be doing besides hooking up? No need to explain. Zhao Su wrapped an arm around Su Xuanyu and looked at me like a victor. Explain what? You're just a backup. It's good that you've seen it now. Don't keep pestering my girlfriend from now on. That's right. Su Xuangyu's expression changed instantly. She lifted her chin like a hen that had won a fight. I'm this pretty. It's your honor that I was willing to be your girlfriend. Now that you know, I won't pretend anymore. Zhao Su can give me what you can't. Looking at this woman who once made me give her my whole heart, I suddenly found it all especially ridiculous. You're right, I can't give that. After all, I really don't have the ability to be pinned down by a pig and still cry out in pleasure. Zhao Su's face flushed the color of pig liver. He wanted to rush up and hit me, but he chickened out and shrank back. Su Xuanyu stamped her foot in fury. Lin Luo, just you wait. Don't come begging me when the time comes. I turned and walked away. Beg her? In my previous life, I begged her for a sip of water, and she laughed happier than anyone. This time, it's my turn. Next stop, our T-Mart supermarket. I'm the warehouse manager here, and I know exactly where every kind of goods is placed. I headed straight for the fresh food section, to king crab, tiger fish, and Australian lobster. I didn't even look at the prices and tossed them all into the cart. In the prepared food section, I didn't miss a single thing. Sauce-braised pig trotters, smoked duck, and white-cut chicken. To avoid drawing attention, I deliberately took 2 bottles of 1982 Lafite at 5,000 yuan a bottle. Human nature is like that. When people see expensive items, They automatically ignore the cheap stuff. Sure enough, the moment the law fight went into the cart, someone couldn't hold back anymore. Sheng Fangfang, Su Xuanyu's best friend. She screwed me over plenty in my previous life. Every time we went out, she'd shamelessly tag along for a free meal, and I even had to pay for the things she bought and carry her bags. When she saw the 2 bottles of red wine, her eyes went wide. Lin Luo, did you strike it rich? Buying wine this expensive? I deliberately played along and said, it's just small change. She immediately sidled up to me. Are you planning to surprise Xuanyu? I get it. As she spoke, she kept glancing at the red wine. I haven't had wine this good in ages. I pretended my hand was sore and shook the plastic bag in my hand. She immediately snatched it over. I'll carry it for you. More than 30 gene of vegetables and fruit had her gasping under the weight, but she still gritted her teeth and made it all the way to the checkout counter. It was over 30,000 yuan, and I paid without even blinking. That only convinced her even more that I'd made a fortune. As I pushed the cart to the parking lot, I suddenly stopped. Did you just mention the red wine? Sheng Fangfang beamed all over her face. Yeah, weren't you saying you were going to give it to me? Did I say that? You were the one who volunteered to carry the bag. Her expression changed instantly. You played me? I didn't even turn my head and just pushed the cart farther away. Behind me came the sound of her furiously making a phone call. I didn't even need to guess that it was to Su Xuanyu. Whatever. Let them guess. After putting everything into the pocket dimension and returning the cart, I headed home. The property ownership certificate and the vehicle registration were still at home. I needed to take them to mortgage for cash. The house is worth a little over 1 million, and the car is worth a bit over 100,000. Together, they should still be good for a loan of a few $100,000. Anyway, once the apocalypse comes, with all that ice and snow, anyone who comes to collect a debt is just looking to die. I had just stepped out of the elevator when 2 people blocked my way. Auntie Wong held a red donation box and smiled like a Methriya Buddha. Little Lin, it's a community charity event. Everyone has donated, so you should do your part too. Old Mr. Gao stood with his hands behind his back and spoke earnestly. Young people can skip 1 meal and 1 pack of cigarettes, and wouldn't that money be saved? You should have a loving heart. I looked at these 2 kind and benevolent faces, and the scenes from my previous life came back vividly. After the glacial apocalypse, I took out most of my supplies and shared them with the neighbors, thinking that a close neighbor is better than a distant relative. As a result, when I caught a cold from the freezing weather and came down with a high fever, I knocked on Annie Wong's door begging for 2 cold pills. She wouldn't even open the door and even shouted that she'd chop me with a cleaver. Old Mr. Gao was always full of morality and righteousness, sounding nicer than anyone when taking supplies, but when I needed help, he vanished straight off the face of the earth. Even more disgusting, when someone later suggested breaking into my home to steal things, the 2 shouting the loudest were these very 2 people who so often organize charity donations. I smiled. Donate? Of course I'll donate. But first I want to ask, Auntie Wong, Old Mr. Gao, how much did you donate yourselves? Auntie Wong lifted her neck stubbornly. We're the organizers. We put in the effort, and of course we donated too. How much did you donate? 100? 200? Or 20? 50? I stared into her eyes. Or rather, not a single cent. Several neighbors nearby stopped in their tracks. Auntie Wong's gaze started to drift. Looks like you really didn't donate a single cent. I raised my voice. Every time you organize donations, you don't contribute a penny yourselves. That's some pretty shrewd calculating. The crowd began whispering among themselves. Yeah, Auntie Wong doesn't work, yet she's decked out in gold and silver. And Elder Gao too. He talks about charity every day, but where's the money? The money we donated couldn't all have been swallowed by them, right? Elder Gao got anxious. You brat, don't you dare slander me. Me, slandering you? I spread my hands. Elder Gao, cutting off someone's source of income is like killing their parents. I understand why you're anxious. I'm afraid this donation box won't be getting filled up anymore. Elder Gao's eyes instantly reddened, and he suddenly rushed over and threw a punch at my chest. I sidestepped, and he crashed straight to the ground, sprawling face first and howling there. Aunt Wong immediately sat on the ground and started rolling around. Assault. This young man won't donate, and is even hitting the elderly. Everyone, judge this fairly. Getting the hint, Elder Gao lay there without moving. My bones are broken. Don't even think about leaving today without 10,000 yuan. I slowly took out my phone. Sure, then let's call the police. There just so happens to be surveillance here. Who threw the first punch just now was captured crystal clear. Assault from behind plus extortion. You 2 elders, let's have a nice long talk down at the station. The 2 of them looked up at the camera in the corner, and their expressions changed drastically. Elder Gao scrambled to his feet, patting the dust off himself. Forget it, forget it. We're all neighbors. It won't look good if this blows up. Aunt Wang also stood up awkwardly, and the two of them slipped into the elevator in a dejected state, glaring at me like knives. I knew this wasn't over, but I wasn't afraid. The apocalypse was approaching. They would soon have no time to bother with me. After going home to get my documents, I headed straight for Black Sky Loan Company. Loans from regular banks were too slow, and I only had a little over 10 days. I couldn't wait. This kind of loan shark company had simple procedures. You could get the money the same day. The interest was outrageously high, but that was exactly what I wanted. What I wanted was to borrow more, the more the better. I put up the house and the car as collateral. Whatever I could get, I wanted it all. Pushing open the glass door, I found the inside thick with smoke, with several burly tattooed men playing cards. A bald manager came up to me, his gold tooth flashing so brightly it hurt the eyes. Brother, what kind of business? I slapped my documents onto the table. Mortgage loan. House and car. How much can I borrow? The bald man flipped them open and took a look, a sharp gleam flashing in his eyes. The house is worth 1.5 million on the market, the car 120,000. By our rules, you can borrow at most 50%. Too little. I stared at him. I want cash. The more the better. Fast processing, and you can set the interest. He held a cigarette in his mouth and sized me up for a few seconds, then suddenly smiled. Straightforward. Brother, how about this? House and car together. I'll roll it up to 1 million for you, at 10% interest every 7 days. Dare to take it? 10% interest every 7 days. That was an outrageously high rate. But there wasn't the slightest hesitation on my face. Fine. Can I get the money today? Sign the contract, and it'll be in your account within 2 hours. I picked up the pen and signed immediately. The bald man was grinning from ear to ear, probably thinking he'd run into a complete sucker. I smiled too, even more brightly than he did. 1 million was enough for me to sweep up every supply I could think of: medicine, coal, self-defense tools, and those little things that would be more precious than gold in the apocalypse. As I walked out of the loan company, I looked up at the gloomy sky. The weather was about to change. What Lin Luo needed was exactly this kind of loan company. After all, he had never planned to repay the money. The Black Sky Loan Company's grand storefront. A punk dressed in a sleazy manner sat at the front desk fiddling with his phone. Lin Luo walked in from outside, and the punk had no intention of standing up either. How much do you want to borrow? The punk didn't even raise his eyelids. Stop fooling around and call your boss over. Lin Luo directly snatched away the punk's phone. Kid, you got a death wish? How dare you take my phone? The punk angrily stood up, about to make a move on Lin Luo. Are you sure you want to make a move on me? I'm one of your big clients. Lin Luo wasn't flustered in the slightest, and the smile on his face didn't change. I don't care whose big client you are. The punk talked tough, but the movement of his hand stopped, because he discovered that the Lin Luo before him carried a terrifying killing intent. If you don't dare make a move, then obediently call your boss out. Lin Luo's smile remained unchanged. Having experienced death once, he carried an invisible aura of killing intent. The thug was simply no match for Lin Luo. Just you wait for me. The thug quickly went into the back of the company and brought out a middle-aged man with a beer belly. This middle-aged man with a beer belly looked quite shrewd. One glance told you he would be hard to deal with. Loan sharking was a skillful trade. Without some tricks up one's sleeve, how could one make a profit? Lin Luo couldn't be bothered to waste words on the thug, because at most the thug could only lend a mere 10,000 or so. Hello, my name is Zhou Jun. I heard you want to apply for a loan. Why not go to a bank instead? Zhou Jun said with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Boss Zhou is testing me. If I weren't in urgent need of money, who would come to your company? Lin Luo said, neither servile nor overbearing. It seems you're a smart man too, so I'll be direct. How much do you want to borrow? For million. Lin Luo took out his property ownership certificate and vehicle registration and handed both to Zhou Jun. This is Xingfu Residential Community next to our T-Mart. The average valuation is 10,000 per square meter, and it's 100 square meters in total, so that comes to 1 million. The car is a Volkswagen Tiguan that's been driven for 2 years, so it's worth a little over 100,000. Added together, that's only 1.2 million. With just these two items, you want to borrow 4 million? That's asking for too much. At most, I can give you 1.5 million. You know we're just a small business. If the money we lend out can't be recovered, such a huge loss is more than we can bear. Zhou Jun said with a smile, shaking his head. Boss Zhou is quite the businessman. The housing price in my Xingfu residential community is clearly 15,000 per square meter. 11,000 per square meter was years ago. And my car cost over 300,000 when I bought it. And after 2 years with no accidents, it can still sell for at least 200,000. Yet in your mouth, it's worth only a little over 100,000. Altogether, it's worth 3.6 to 3.7 million. Lin Luo said with a faint smile. You're a smart man too, so I'll be direct as well. At most I can lend you 2 million, unless you have a reason I can't refuse. Of course I do. I'm going to do a big business deal, and once I make money, I'll pay back all this money to you. What big business? That, I can't tell you. But once I make money then, I'll be able to repay you in full. Lin Luo said lightly. Fine, I'll lend you 3.5 million. The term is 1 month, and the interest is 50%. What do you think? After thinking it over, Zhou Jun gritted his teeth and made the decision. Seeing how confident Lin Luo was, Zhou Jun suspected that Lin Luo might be involved in that kind of business. Those powdered substances more expensive than gold. Zhou Jun had been in the lending business for a long time and had seen all kinds of people. Someone as calm as Lin Luo was a first for him. Fine. Lin Luo agreed at once. Not going to haggle? Zhou Jun's face was full of shock. He felt that 50% interest was already very high, and thought Lin Luo would bargain. He hadn't expected Lin Luo to agree in one go, which made Zhou Jun even more certain of his suspicion. It's only 50% interest, not very high. My business makes far more than that, so hurry up and handle the paperwork. Lin Luo pretended to be very impatient. All right, I'll prepare it for you right away. Zhou Jun nodded repeatedly. Lin Luo gave Zhou Jun his bank account number, and soon 3.5 million was transferred into the account. Zhou Jun handed the relevant contract to Lin Luo, who carefully read through it once and confirmed there were no mistakes. Boss Lin, please check and see whether the money has arrived in your bank account. Zhou Jun's face was full of ingratiation. It's arrived. Lin Luo signed the contract and set down the property ownership certificate and vehicle registration. Zhou Jun picked up the property ownership certificate and vehicle registration and stuffed them back into Lin Luo's hand. I trust Boss Lin's character, so I'll keep these 2 items here. Lin Luo was somewhat at a loss and said with a smile, Boss Zhou, what do you mean by this? I simply trust Boss Lin's character. I just hope that if there's any big business in the future, you can include me. That might be a bit difficult. I can't decide on my own. As long as Boss Lin has that intention, whether I can participate or not, I'll be grateful to you. Zhou Jun said with a broad grin. All right then. Lin Luo pretended to look troubled. Thank you, Boss Lin. Zhou Jun was extremely attentive as he saw Lin Luo out. Only after leaving Black Sky Loan Company did Lin Luo finally let out a long sigh of relief. This Zhou Jun was really hard to deal with. He had almost failed to borrow the money. If Lin Luo had revealed even the slightest flaw, there was no way he would have been able to borrow the 3.5 million. For Zhou Jun to run such a large loan shark company, he was definitely not easy to deal with. A loan shark company that only lends money without considering how to get it back would have gone bankrupt long ago. Like in movies and TV dramas, where someone asks to borrow money and others foolishly lend out all their money. That's even more impossible. Lin Luo was glad he had gone to the loan shark company. If he had gone to a bank, there was no way he could have borrowed that much money. Besides, the bank procedures are far too troublesome. By the time the loan was approved, the glacial apocalypse might have already arrived. Once the glacial apocalypse arrived, what would Lin Luo need so much money for? Now that I have the 3.5 million, the first thing I need to do is build a safe house. With enough supplies secured, Lin Luo also needed a relatively safe environment. After the glacial apocalypse, it wasn't just a matter of staying warm. He also had to guard against outsiders. In his previous life, Lin Luo had sensed that something was wrong and had been the first to prepare a large amount of supplies. Somehow, someone leaked the news that he had supplies, and late that very night, people came to break down his door. Fortunately, Lin Luo's door was sturdy enough and wasn't broken open. Later, he took out quite a lot of food, and a large part of that had to do with this. Lin Luo drove to Space Station Security Company. Space Station Security Company specialized in building safe houses. In the past, Space Station Security Company had been invited by the state to go to the Arctic and jointly build safe houses. The safe houses they built performed excellently in all kinds of tests. Whether in insulation or protection, they were far superior to those of many other countries. After this incident, Space Station Security Company also became famous nationwide in a single stroke. Whether at home or abroad, a large number of wealthy businessmen were willing to pay for Space Station Security Company to build them a safe house. These wealthy businessmen basically had more money than they knew what to do with, so they wanted to build a doomsday shelter. Though it was called a doomsday shelter, in reality, it was just a place for the wealthy to have fun. However, a blogger once tested a wealthy man's shelter and the results were quite good. Lin Luo chose this space station security company only after careful consideration. Compared with Black Sky Loan Company, Space Station Security Company was much more legitimate. As soon as Lin Luo reached the entrance, the automatic sensor glass doors opened. A beautiful young woman in an OL uniform, with her long fair legs exposed, stood at the door with a smile to greet him. "Sir, what kind of service do you need?" Tian Xiaoyu asked with a smile. "What kind of service can you provide?" Lin Luo couldn't help but say with a smile. Tian Xiaoyu's pretty face flushed red. "Sir, you've misunderstood me. I meant whether you need a safe house built, or some other kind of security service." "That's what I meant too. I need a safe house built." Lin Luo smiled, without beating around the bush at all. "Then you've come to the right person. Our space station security company's strongest line of business is safe houses. The safe houses we build are famous worldwide, and many people choose our company first. Do you have any requirements for building a safe house? I believe that since you've come to our security company, you've definitely done your homework. Our space station security company can build a safe house anywhere." Tian Xiaoyu patted her impressive chest and assured him. "Even an apartment in a residential complex?" Lin Luo asked. "Of course. I live on the 3rd floor. If my apartment is turned into a safe house and people upstairs or downstairs cause trouble, will it affect my apartment? You can rest assured about that. Our safe houses are protected on all sides. The ceilings and floors are lined with special wall materials that even bullets can't penetrate. If the people downstairs bring down a load-bearing wall, will it affect the structure of my home? You can rest assured about that too. We will install new support columns for you from top to bottom, so even if downstairs collapses, it won't affect you." "Is it really that amazing?" "You'd better not be fooling me," Lin Luo asked, half believing and half doubting. "You can rest completely assured about that. People are already quite amazed by the claim that we build safe houses in the Arctic," Tian Xiaoyu said with a smile. "Actually, our space station security company has not only participated in the construction of Arctic safe houses, but also in the construction of space stations in outer space. That is a state secret, so we definitely can't disclose it. Just think, if we can even build space stations, building a safe house is nothing by comparison." Seeing that Lin Luo still didn't believe her, she added, "Mr. Lin, if you still don't believe it, when the time comes, we can provide detailed design drawings. This isn't the first time we've built a safe house in a residential complex, and we have plenty of experience in this area. We can show you several case examples then." Afraid that Lin Luo would not believe her, Tian Xiaoyu considerately turned on the computer to give a demonstration. The space station security company had specific models that gave Lin Luo a deeper understanding. "Now, Mr. Lin, do you believe we have this capability?" Tian Xiaoyu said with a smile. "Quite good." Lin Luo nodded with satisfaction. Those models had been tested and were indeed as impressive as Tian Xiaoyu had said. Building a safe house in an apartment building is quite good, but I still recommend that Mr. Lin choose a warehouse or a detached single-story house. That would be safer and also save more money. Tian Xiaoyu was highly professional and thoughtfully considered things from Lin Luo's perspective. "No, I think an apartment building is still better. That home has special meaning to me." Lin Luo shook his head and refused. He had always had two plans in mind. One was to rent a large warehouse and a detached single-story house for safe house conversion. The other was to renovate his own home and build the safe house directly there. Before coming to the space station security company, Lin Luo had been more inclined toward the first plan. Turning a large warehouse and a detached single-story house into a safe house would be more beneficial for surviving the apocalypse. Since Tian Xiaoyu said the other plan would also work and could be turned into a safe house, Lin Luo became more inclined toward the other plan. In his previous life, he had wanted to be a good person, but they gave him no chance. So this time, Lin Luo would be a bad person and let those people properly experience malice. Then convert the house I'm currently living in into a safe house. Lin Luo made his decision. "Mr. Lin, won't you think it over once more? Converting an apartment into a safe house will cost a lot." Tian Xiaoyu reminded him. "Cost isn't a problem. Or are you saying the safe house you build isn't as good as imagined?" "You're joking, sir. Our space station security company is very honest. Before construction starts, I have one more requirement. The safe house must be completed within 10 days. I'm afraid that may be a bit difficult. The safe house process is very complicated. If it can't be completed within 10 days, then just pretend I never said anything. This cooperation can only be put on hold." Lin Luo shook his head and prepared to stand up. If the safe house couldn't be completed within 10 days, he wouldn't be able to enjoy it at all. By then, the ice age would arrive, and people would be freezing to death. Who would still work for you? Wait a moment. I'll make a call to contact upper management and see if we can move your safe house up in schedule. Tian Xiaoyu took out her phone and made a call. After half an hour of conversation, Tian Xiaoyu finally hung up. Sir, I have secured the fastest option for you. Construction can start tomorrow, but the price will be a bit higher. Tian Xiaoyu deliberately paused for a moment. Price isn't a problem. You can have the workers rush day and night. For overtime at night, I'll pay double wages. Lin Luo showed no stinginess at all. Some money should be saved where it can be saved. But when it needs to be spent, it must be spent. As the weather got colder and colder later on, money would gradually depreciate and eventually become almost like waste paper. Mr. Lin, please wait here a moment while I estimate the amount needed. First, pay your 50,000 deposit. Tian Xiaoyu said with a polite smile. No problem. Lin Luo nodded. After about 10 odd minutes, Tian Xiaoyu gave an estimate. The preliminary estimate was 1 million, with the most expensive part being the house support frame, which required professionals to install. Tian Xiaoyu gave a sweet smile. No problem at all. It would be best if construction could start today. Money really isn't a problem. Lin Luo paid 50,000 yuan. We'll do our best. Tian Xiaoyu's smile grew even brighter. I have one more request. Does your security company have any retired weapons? Lin Luo couldn't possibly stay in the safe house forever. If he was forced to, then he would definitely have to go out. Sorry, our retired weapons are all strictly controlled and cannot be circulated outside. Money is not an issue. That's really impossible. Those are all strictly regulated. Tian Xiaoyu hesitated for a moment. But I know a blacksmith shop that specializes in selling some knives and swords, and they can also bless them for you. To buy weapons, you just need to register. Then thank you very much. Lin Luo said gratefully. Tian Xiaoyu gave Lin Luo the address of the blacksmith shop. As Lin Luo was leaving, Tian Xiaoyu asked worriedly, Sir, I think you're a good person, so you probably wouldn't do anything illegal. Don't worry, I won't rat you out. Lin Luo said with a smile. That's not a good joke. Tian Xiaoyu turned pale with fright. Just don't worry. I'm a good person. Even if something really happens, no one will come looking for you. Sir, please don't joke around. This really isn't funny. Tian Xiaoyu felt she had been careless and shouldn't have told Lin Luo the location of the blacksmith shop. Lin Luo walked out of the space station security company and drove to where the blacksmith shop was located. The blacksmith at the blacksmith shop was easy to talk to. As long as you paid, he'd get things done. Lin Luo paid a few thousand yuan and bought 2 machetes from the shop. The blades of the machetes were light, thin, and sharp, making them quite handy to use. It would be hard for Lin Luo to get overly excited, drop the blade, and end up getting killed by someone else with it. Lin Luo asked the blacksmith at the shop to bless the machetes while he was at it. To his surprise, the blacksmith refused Lin Luo's request. Left with no choice, Lin Luo could only use his trump card, coercing the blacksmith to bless the machetes. That meant paying extra. After Lin Luo paid enough money, the blacksmith Wang Dazhuang blessed the 2 blades. The blacksmith still had some professional ethics and asked Lin Luo what he wanted the blades for. Lin Luo said it was for hunting, and the blacksmith actually believed him. After getting the 2 machetes, Lin Luo wanted to get some ranged weapons. Uncle Wang, do you know of any shooting clubs nearby? Lin Luo asked. Young man, you want a ranged weapon, right? Wang Dazhuang replied in a hushed voice. Yes, Uncle Wang, do you have any? I have 2 homemade guns, both made by me. They fire steel pellets, and the power is decent. Can I take a look? Lin Luo nodded with a smile. This Wang Dazhuang really was a fish that slipped through the net in a law-based society. Blessing blades was one thing, but he even had homemade guns. Wang Dazhuang took out 2 homemade guns and let Lin Luo inspect them one by one. Both homemade guns were pretty good. Lin Luo found a secluded place and tried firing the homemade gun. The homemade gun was fairly powerful and wouldn't misfire or jam. Boss, if you think it's suitable, how about 5,000 yuan? A bit expensive. For 1,500 yuan, no cheaper than that. I'll take both homemade guns. Lin Luo paid nearly 10,000 yuan and got the 2 homemade guns and the machetes. Wang Dazhuang gave Lin Luo 500 steel pellets, enough to use for quite a long time. With the homemade guns, machetes, and safe house, Lin Luo temporarily didn't need to worry about safety issues. Lin Luo left the blacksmith shop and went to various restaurants to order banquet meals. Western restaurants, hot pot places, Chinese restaurants, and so on. Anything with a bit of a reputation and good food, he ordered from all of them. The glacial apocalypse would last a very long time, and as a foodie, Lin Luo would easily get tired of eating the same thing. Just one restaurant alone would easily make him sick of it. When Lin Luo first went in to order banquet meals, the managers all thought he was there to cause trouble. Normally, People go to restaurants to eat, and very few pack up food to eat elsewhere. Lin Luo not only packed food to eat outside, but also wanted a lot of it. At first, these managers all suspected that Lin Luo had been sent by a rival business. But then Lin Luo transferred the money. They then realized that the person before them was serious. Lin Luo gave these restaurants his address. They just needed to prepare the food and deliver it to his home. He did have a storage space for stockpiling, but he couldn't expose it in broad daylight. Since each restaurant prepared food at different speeds, Lin Luo didn't need to worry about everything arriving at once. Next, Lin Luo waited at home to receive the food delivered by the restaurants. Each time a restaurant's food arrived, Lin Luo would accept that delivery. Fortunately, these hundreds of restaurants didn't deliver everything at once, or Lin Luo wouldn't have been able to handle receiving it all. In just one day, Lin Luo spent nearly 800,000. If he hadn't hit his spending limit, he would have spent all the money. Lin Luo set aside 1 million for the space station security company, and the rest of the money could all be spent. Everything about this space station security company was good except for one thing. The payment had to be settled in full. That is, on the day before the work was completed, Lin Luo had to pay off the bill. Lin Luo then looked online for quite a few online lending companies and borrowed nearly 1 million. After deducting his earlier expenses from the money he could use, he only had a little over 3 million left to spend. Lin Luo planned to spend all of this money within 10 days. After working hard for so long, he had to reward himself properly too. Lin Luo left a large table full of sumptuous dishes and began to eat heartily. Bang bang. The security door was pounded heavily. Lin Luo went over and opened the door and saw two people he couldn't have been more familiar with. These two were Su Shuangyu and Sheng Fangfang, two thoroughgoing gold diggers. "What do you want with me?" Lin Luo said with a cold face. "Smells so good." Su Shuangyu ignored Lin Luo and rushed to the dining table. The dining table was covered with lavish food, including Australian lobster, king crab, abalone, and other expensive ingredients. "I've eaten at the Shenglong 5-star hotel before. This aroma is something only a big hotel like that could produce," Su Shuangyu said in surprise. "At the Shenglong 5-star hotel, even the cheapest table costs 5,000. This table has everything on it, so it must cost at least 10,000, right?" Sheng Fangfang was practically drooling. Usually, when someone treats others to a meal, 10,000 for one table is normal enough. But spending 10,000 on a table of food all for one person to eat by himself, that was just too extravagant. "Aren't you two going too far? This is my home. You barged in without my permission," Lin Luo said in a deep voice. "I'm your girlfriend. What's wrong with coming to your home to take a look? You're the one who wanted to stop and run off." Su Shuangyu spoke self-righteously. "You're only my girlfriend in name. Other than that, you and I don't have the slightest relationship. I saw you booking a hotel room with someone else. Do you think our relationship can continue?" Lin Luo's voice turned even colder. "Lin Luo, listen to my explanation. We only went to the hotel because we had important matters to discuss," Su Shuangyu said guiltily. "Haha, can you come up with a better excuse? You might as well say you had work to discuss in bed." Lin Luo's smile grew colder. "Lin Luo, how can you talk like that? Su Shuangyu is your girlfriend. No matter what Shuangyu did, you should trust her unconditionally. Whatever she says, you should believe." Sheng Fangfang chimed in. "You have a point. I can't afford to enjoy a girlfriend like that. From now on, we're officially broken up. You and I are strangers from here on out." Lin Luo didn't buy into that brand of female chauvinism. "No way. Now that you have money, you want to break up with me? Absolutely not." Su Shuangyu started making a scene. "Exactly. When you were poor, our Shuangyu never looked down on you. Now that you have money, you want to dump our Shuangyu, you scumbag." Sheng Fangfang continued backing her up. "If you don't leave, I'm going to call security." Lin Luo suddenly understood why Su Shuangyu was clinging so tightly to him. Recently, Lin Luo had been spending money at high-end hotels, buying expensive red wine, and even eating such costly banquets by himself. This series of unusual behaviors made Su Shuangyu and Sheng Fangfang suspect that I had come into money. Su Shuangyu and Sheng Fangfang were typical gold diggers, especially sensitive when it came to money. If Lin Luo were still like before, then breaking up would be fine. She, Su Shuangyu, was so pretty that there were plenty of simps like Lin Luo who wanted her. Without Lin Luo, there would be another Lin Luo. But if Lin Luo had money, that was a completely different matter. Lin Luo was her simp, so if he had money, she should be the first to spend it. Besides, if anyone was going to bring up a breakup, it should be her. Lin Luo was just a lowly simp. What right did he have to break up with her? "Lin Luo, have you gotten rich lately or not?" Su Shuangyu no longer bothered to hide it. No, you're completely overthinking it. Lin Luo quickly denied it. He pretended to be guilty as he called Uncle Li and asked him to come over quickly. I'm only calling security over now, so everyone can keep some dignity. If I call the police later, it won't end well for any of you. Why do you only dare call security and not the police? Sheng Fangfang thought she had found the clue. I knew you had money and wanted to break up with Xuanyu. Xuanyu mustn't break up with him. If they do break up, there has to be breakup compensation. If there isn't 80,000 or 100,000 in breakup compensation today, I won't agree to break up. Su Xuanyu said forcefully. Stay if you want. Lin Luo didn't drive the two of them away, planning to toy with them a bit. After about 10 minutes, Uncle Li hurried over. Uncle Li, come judge this fairly. Lin Luo and I used to be boyfriend and girlfriend, but this scumbag Lin Luo wants to break up with me after getting money. Su Xuanyu was the first to complain. Right, I really can't stand this kind of scumbag. Sheng Fangfang didn't forget to chime in. What exactly happened with Lin Luo? Uncle Li knew what kind of people the two women were and didn't quite believe them. I have no relationship with this Su Xuanyu at all. She insists on saying we're boyfriend and girlfriend. There are some things I won't say outright. Su Xuanyu, let's both save each other some face. Lin Luo said with a wronged expression. You want to make this a fight to the death? Su Xuanyu's eyes reddened. Xuanyu, don't be impulsive. Your reputation is very important. Sheng Fangfang hurriedly tried to dissuade her. I'm old, and I don't understand what you young people are thinking, but when it comes to dating, it's better to part on good terms and not make things so ugly. Uncle Li advised. My ex-girlfriend, I advise you to part on good terms. If this blows up, it won't be easy for you to keep multiple guys on the line. Lin Luo reminded her with a smile. Xuanyu, don't make things too ugly now, or it'll be hard to handle later. Sheng Fangfang reminded her in a low voice. Lin Luo, don't think you can break up like this. Su Xuanyu stormed out angrily. If this got too big, she'd be the only one to suffer in the end. Su Xuanyu had quite a few guys on the hook. There were several just in this residential complex alone. These guys all obeyed her in every way. If this matter blew up, some of them would very likely slip out of her control. Xiao Luo, how did you get mixed up with Su Xuanyu? Uncle Li sighed helplessly. That girl from the Su family is extremely snobbish. There won't be any result from dating her. I heard that several men in the complex dated her and ended up losing both money and everything else. I think you'd better break up with her soon and find a down-to-earth girl with ordinary looks. Uncle Li, you're right. Aren't I breaking up with her now? But she refuses to break up. Lin Luo put on a helpless look. This girl from the Su family is really going too far. How about I go over and give her a good talking to? No need. I can handle this myself. It wouldn't be good for someone your age to get involved. Lin Luo quickly stopped Uncle Li, in case he really went to persuade Su Xuanyu. In this enormous residential complex, Uncle Li was considered a very good person. In his previous life, Lin Luo took Su Xuanyu in. Uncle Li was the only one who warned Lin Luo to be careful. Su Xuanyu wasn't an honest girl and would likely do something bad to him. At that time, Lin Luo was already blinded by love and simply couldn't listen to what others said. But Uncle Li's ending wasn't good either. He lived alone in the security dormitory. A pregnant woman named Zhang Jiejia, who had a child with her, had no food, so Uncle Li gave her quite a bit of the food from his home. He himself was left with very little food, and later on, he didn't even have anything to eat. He hoped Zhang Jiejia could spare some food to help him. But Zhang Jiejia seemed like a completely different person and didn't pay Uncle Li any attention at all. Lin Luo was willing to give Uncle Li food, but Uncle Li refused to accept it. He knew Lin Luo was also having a hard time and didn't want Lin Luo's food. Later, Uncle Li left the security dormitory, hoping to find some food. The temperature was over 50 degrees Celsius below zero, let alone people walking on the streets. Even cars couldn't start. Uncle Li endured the cold and walked out of the residential complex, never to return. In his previous life, Uncle Li, like Lin Luo, was a very good person. Sadly, good people don't always get good rewards. That works too, but you'd better stay away from Su Xuanyu. When looking for a wife, there's no need to find someone that pretty. It's enough for her to be honest and dependable. Uncle Li looked kindly at him. I understand. Lin Luo nodded and said, Uncle Li, you should also stock up on more food lately. I heard we're about to enter a mini ice age, and it will likely be cold for quite a while in the future. I saw the news you mentioned too. We really should prepare more food at home. Recently, I've already stuffed my little fridge full, but filling just one small fridge isn't enough. The more food you have at home, the better. Uncle Li, listen to me and go buy more instant noodles, bread, and the like right now. There's no need to prepare that much, right? Didn't the experts say that after 7 days, The whole Earth would return to normal temperatures? Uncle Lee, I think you've got it wrong. Precisely because the expert said it. That's why we should be suspicious. You do have a point. Very few of these experts ever get things right. So, Uncle Lee, prepare more food. I will. Watching Uncle Lee's departing figure, Lin Luo could only feel helpless for a moment. He had already explained things in great detail, and there was nothing he could do if Uncle Lee still wouldn't prepare. On the eve of the glacial apocalypse, many countries had already predicted it. The whole Earth would enter a brief glacial period, with temperatures dropping to more than 50 degrees Celsius below zero. The news would broadcast it from time to time, but almost no one took it seriously. The first reason was that in the Ice Age, temperatures would drop to just over 30 degrees Celsius below zero, which didn't seem impossible for people to accept. In the northern part of the Dragon Kingdom, temperatures also go down to just over 30 degrees below zero. Didn't everyone get through it just fine? There was no problem at all. There were even quite a few thrill seekers in short videos doing reckless things like running naked and swimming in weather of 30 degrees Celsius below zero. This instantly reassured some people who had been worried. So what if it was 50 degrees Celsius below zero? It was no big deal at all. The second reason was that the Ice Age would be short enough. Many environmental and meteorological experts believed it wouldn't last very long. It would probably be over in a month. The third point was also fatal. The weather didn't suddenly turn cold all at once. With only a little over 10 days left before the Ice Age, the normal temperature was still over 30 degrees, with bright sunshine and spring in full bloom. It was so hot people were nearly dying from it. So who would believe that just over 10 days later, they would suddenly enter a deadly cold Ice Age? Not to mention others. Even if Lin Luo hadn't gone through it once before, he wouldn't have believed it either. No one took the glacial apocalypse seriously, yet the glacial apocalypse struck head-on. In almost a single day, the temperature dropped from over 30 degrees to more than 30 degrees below zero. Next, the temperature will keep dropping lower and lower until people simply won't be able to step outside. And the glacial apocalypse won't last just 7 days. No one can say for sure when it will end. In his previous life, whenever Lin Luo watched the news, every day's reports were grim. Basically, they all said the glacial apocalypse would be prolonged, and some pessimistic people speculated it would last a whole year. There were only 12 or 13 days left before the glacial age, and Lin Luo still had two things to finish. The first thing was that although he had bought food to eat, he still hadn't bought daily necessities to use. For example, toilet paper, ointment, towels, shampoo, and so on were all essential living supplies. Lin Luo hadn't spent money preparing for them, because the RT Mart warehouse had everything. RT Mart had set up its largest warehouse in Jinghai City, and many goods bound for other places had to pass through this major warehouse in Jinghai City. By then, the goods filling the entire warehouse would be worth hundreds of billions. Lin Luo planned to use his spatial ability to take all those hundreds of billions worth of goods in one go. The second thing was the house's heating system, which was definitely indispensable. After the safe house was completed, it would still be in time for Lin Luo to prepare the house's heating system. What Lin Luo needed more next was to go to work and get those hundreds of billions worth of goods. Ding ding ring ring. Lin Luo's phone rang. The caller ID showed the name Jean Tai, the manager in charge of RT Mart's warehouse. Jean Tai also lived in Lin Luo's residential complex, and the two of them usually didn't get along very well. Back then, Lin Luo worked diligently and conscientiously. At 16, he dropped out of high school and entered RT Mart as a porter. Only after working at RT Mart for 7 or 8 years did Lin Luo become the warehouse supervisor. This Jean Tai was completely a nepotism hire, parachuted in to become a manager. The very first thing Jean Tai wanted after becoming manager was to take Lin Luo's position away so his own nephew could have it. That way, Jean Tai could gain even greater benefits from it. But Lin Luo was a veteran employee, so Jean Tai couldn't fire him by himself. Most importantly, Lin Luo was exceptionally capable at his job and could manage the entire RT Mart warehouse. Jean Tai and his nephew Jean Xiaowu were both nepotism hires and had basically no workability at all. When Lin Luo said he wanted to take some time off, Jean Tai agreed without a second thought. For several days, Jean Tai didn't even ask a single question. Now that Jean Tai had suddenly called, it was very likely because something had come up that he couldn't handle. After all, Jean Tai was just a nepotism hire, and he was lacking in many business skills. Lin Luo answered Jean Tai's call, and an impatient voice came from the other end. Lin Luo, where the hell did you die off to? Didn't you say you'd come to work today? Why haven't you shown up yet? Manager Jean, is that how you ask someone for help? What do you mean? I'm your direct superior. Isn't it only right for you to come to work? It seems you still don't understand your situation. Forget it. I don't feel like working lately. Besides, I'm alone, so as long as I can feed myself, I don't have to worry about anyone else, and I don't even want the salary anymore. Do you know what you're doing? Without waiting for Jean Tai to say anything, Lin Luo hung up first. Jean Tai usually bullied Lin Luo and always nitpicked at his work. In the past, Lin Luo could only swallow the humiliation in order to keep his job. Now that the glacial apocalypse was about to arrive, Lin Luo didn't care about his job anymore. Nor was he worried that Jean Tai really wouldn't call him. Unless Jean Tai didn't want his job anymore. Otherwise, there was no way he wouldn't call. Meanwhile, at our T-Mart supermarket, this Lin Luo must have a death wish, actually daring to talk back to me. Jean Tai was so furious he was stamping mad, wishing he could smash his phone. Uncle, if Lin Luo doesn't come, all the better, we can just fire him. Jean Xiaowu said with a smile. Let me ask you something. If Lin Luo is fired now, can you take over his work? Well, it's not that your nephew is useless. It's just that this warehouse is too big. I really can't get it all organized. Trash is trash. You can't even handle such a small matter. If you had managed the warehouse well, do you think I'd be in such a passive position? It's not that uncle can't manage it. Jean Xiaowu said weakly. What did you say? Jean Tai shouted angrily. Nothing. Jean Xiaowu quickly waved his hands and said, what I mean is, we still need Lin Luo right now. For now, we can only put up with him. Once I can manage the entire warehouse, I'll kick Lin Luo out. What a useless piece of trash. Helplessly, Jean Tai called Lin Luo again. Jean Tai's attitude on this call was much better, almost begging Lin Luo to come over. Jean Tai really is a hypocrite. He clearly hates me to death, yet he still puts on a humble and submissive act. Lin Luo also knew that Jean Tai would scheme against him, but he didn't care. Once Lin Luo empties out the entire RT-Mart warehouse, Jean Tai won't be able to keep his job either. The only slightly troublesome thing is emptying out the entire warehouse. If goods worth over 100 billion suddenly disappear, Lin Luo will very likely become a criminal suspect. Although the police will probably be unable to find the goods, Lin Luo will most likely still be locked up for a few days. Hopefully I won't be locked up for too long, so I'll still have time to set up the heating system in the safe house. Lin Luo was still somewhat worried. If he gets locked up for 15 days, then it would be almost impossible for him to go home. But with so many supplies in our T-Mart's warehouse, he had no choice but to do it. Lin Luo put on his work uniform and came to work at our T-Mart's main warehouse, assigning personnel, unloading goods, sorting, registering, stocking, and a whole series of other processes. He had already repeated these tasks many times, and his movements were quite skilled. Things that were very difficult for Jean Tai and Jean Xiaowu were quite easy in Lin Luo's hands. The previously chaotic logistics operation became orderly. Jean Xiaowu, I'm thirsty right now. Go buy me some water. Lin Luo ordered. Who do you think you are? What gives you the right to order me to get you water? Jean Xiaowu immediately became unhappy. Manager Jean, I feel soreness in my lower back and pain all over. I'm afraid I'll have to take leave again next. Lin Luo pretended to have strained his back. Don't. Xiaowu was just joking. Jean Tai angrily said to Jean Xiaowu. Why aren't you going to buy water for Lin Luo yet? Wait a second. He insulted me just now. I've recently shown signs of depression, and my mental resilience is rather poor, so I'm afraid I can't work. Lin Luo sighed helplessly. Hurry up and apologize. Jean Tai said impatiently. Buying water is fine, but apologizing is impossible. Jean Xiaowu said angrily. Even if I, Jean, jumped off a high-rise building or starved to death, I still wouldn't apologize. Jean Tai fiercely slapped Jean Xiaowu and shouted angrily. You've really gotten bold, talking to me like that. If you won't listen, then get lost right now. In the end, Jean Xiaowu was not Lin Luo and could not defy Jean Tai. And Jean Xiaowu's current position was inseparable from Jean Tai's help. The true fragrance law really is everywhere. Sorry. Jean Xiaowu said it impatiently. Give me a better attitude and sound more sincere. Lin Luo said slowly. I'm telling you, leave some room when you do things. We all have to see each other around here, and it's no good if things get too tense. Jean Xiaowu threatened him in a hooligan-like manner. Jean Tai, aren't you going to properly discipline your nephew? Lin Luo said flatly. You little brat, if I told you to apologize, then apologize properly. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Jean Tai was furious and viciously slapped Jean Xiaowu. Sorry. Jean Xiaowu's attitude instantly improved a lot. After apologizing, Jean Xiaowu went to buy water and brought it to Lin Luo. I bought the water you wanted. Keep it for yourself. I'm afraid you poisoned the water. You deliberately told me to buy water just now. You didn't actually want to drink water, did you? Looks like you're not dumb beyond saving after all. A mocking look appeared on Lin Luo's face. You. Jin Xiaowu's face flushed red with anger as he hopped around in agitation. Seeing Jin Xiaowu so furious and exasperated made Lin Luo feel a wave of satisfaction. Back then, relying on his relationship with Jin Tai, Jin Xiaowu had caused Lin Luo no end of trouble. For the sake of this hard-won job, he had put up with quite a lot of Jin Xiaowu's bullying. Now that Lin Luo didn't want the job anymore anyway, he was definitely going to get his revenge. RT Mart had goods worth over 100 billion in total, an absolutely terrifying amount. Even with over 100 people unloading together, it would still take a day or two. Lin Luo continued arranging the work, having the goods worth over 100 billion unloaded in an orderly manner and placed into the warehouse. Uncle, I just can't swallow this anger. Jin Xiaowu was grinding his back teeth. I'm warning you, don't stir up extra trouble at a time like this. Jin Tai's face darkened. Don't worry about that. I won't touch him for now. Once the unloading is almost done, we'll deal with him properly then. What do you want to do? Haven't we always wanted to fire Lin Luo? Isn't this the best opportunity? As long as the surveillance footage is gone and the goods mysteriously go missing, as long as it doesn't get reported to the police, we can completely fire him. Are you sure he won't get the police involved? If this blows up, it won't be easy for either of us to handle. Jin Tai said hesitantly. Don't worry. It won't cost much to make some goods disappear. We just need an excuse to get him fired. That's all. Jin Xiaowu persuaded him. The method you mentioned could work. Anyway, after this unloading, there won't be such a large shipment for nearly half a year. During these 6 months, you should be able to become familiar enough with the goods. I originally wanted to keep Lin Luo for another 6 months and fire him after making sure you were familiar with the goods. But today, this Lin Luo has gone too far. He actually talked back to me to my face. He must be fired ahead of time, or I really can't stand it. Jin Tai said furiously. Leave this matter to me. I guarantee I'll give you a satisfactory answer, uncle. But remember one thing. You can't do this yourself, or if it gets to the police, it won't be easy for me to handle things either. I'm not an idiot. Of course I know that. Lin Luo recently offended Zhao Su, a rich second-generation kid from the Villa district in our residential community. Zhao Su has been asking me to teach Lin Luo a lesson for a while now. Isn't this the perfect opportunity? Jin Xiaowu said smugly. You've been working under me for so long. In many matters, you need to know your limits. Tonight, I'll have someone secretly turn off the surveillance. Jin Tai nodded in satisfaction. After receiving Jin Tai's support, Jin Xiaowu called Zhao Su. Zhao Su had been holding a grudge over the hotel incident, so he immediately agreed to Jin Xiaowu's proposal. He promptly spent money to hire 2 people to work with Jin Xiaowu. After 2 days of unloading, the goods worth over 100 billion were finally all unloaded. Next came stealing the goods worth over 100 billion. Lin Luo felt a wave of unease. He had made his plan long ago, but actually carrying it out was not as simple as he had imagined. The entire warehouse had many cameras monitoring the situation inside at all times. Every employee entered the main warehouse by clocking in, and outside there were 5 security guards rotating shifts, not allowed to use their phones during their shifts. RT Mart's warehouse management was extremely strict, almost airtight. If Lin Luo took all the supplies at once, it would definitely attract the attention of all of RT Mart. In order to find the culprit, RT Mart would certainly conduct a full-scale search, and Lin Luo, as the warehouse manager inside, would be a key suspect for investigation. If supplies worth over 100 billion suddenly disappeared, no one at RT Mart could bear the responsibility. RT Mart would definitely mobilize all its resources to find whoever stole all the supplies. However, without any evidence, RT Mart wouldn't be able to detain Lin Luo for long. The likely outcome would be to suspend Lin Luo from work and let him return only after the company finished its investigation, or more likely fire him directly. Lin Luo didn't care about either outcome. The frozen apocalypse was coming soon anyway, and just surviving would already be difficult. Anyone whose brain isn't fried wouldn't keep going to work. Hopefully it won't waste too much time. Lin Luo sighed and calculated that there were 10 days left until the frozen apocalypse. If 7 days were wasted in detention, there would still be 3 days left for the final preparations. The unloading had already been completed, and after staying in the main warehouse for 1 day, the goods would be shipped to supermarkets all over the country. Lin Luo, you're on duty today. Tomorrow these goods will be sent to supermarkets in various regions, so there can't be the slightest mistake, understand? Jin Tai said expressionlessly. No problem. Lin Luo could sense Jin Tai's ill intentions. Jin Tai was a very petty person, probably wanting revenge for what happened earlier. Lin Luo was not afraid either and let Jin Tai scheme against him. Anyway, he was determined to get his hands on these 100 billion worth supplies. Jin Tai also arranged for 2 more people to guard the main warehouse with Lin Luo. By nightfall, Lin Luo arrived at the warehouse on time, but he did not see the other 2 warehouse administrators. Lin Luo called the 2 of them. Both said they had something going on. One said his father was sick and he had gone back to take care of him, while the other said he had fallen, sprained his ankle, and could not come to work. Lin Luo did not waste any more words and accepted both of their leave excuses. When Jin Tai arranged for the 2 to be on duty, they had both readily agreed. Yet when the night shift came, they suddenly had reasons to ask for leave, and almost at the same time. It was obviously arranged by Jin Tai, and the intention was clearly revenge. Jin Tai had always wanted to push Lin Luo out of his position and replace him with his own nephew, Jin Xiaowu. If Jin Xiaowu became the warehouse manager, the entire main warehouse would practically belong to the Jin family. Lin Luo had a strong feeling that Jin Xiaowu would become a source of help to him. Premium Spanish ham, Yangsheng Lake hairy crabs, matsutake, caviar, truffles, and other expensive ingredients. Coke, Pepsi, Sprite, Fanta, coconut juice, and all kinds of other beverages. High-end suits, shirts, designer bags, and other branded clothing. There were simply too many things in RT Mart's main warehouse, covering every aspect of daily life. From small items like tissues and sanitary pads to large ones like drones and large electric vehicles. The goods were dazzling and too numerous to take in at a glance. This was not the first time Lin Luo had seen so many goods, yet he had never felt as impulsive as he did this time. For the moment, he suppressed the urge to transfer all the 100 billion worth supplies into the strange space. If goods worth over 100 billion disappeared from the main warehouse, it would definitely cause a huge upheaval throughout the entire RT Mart company. Since the 2 warehouse workers had not come, the first suspect would be Lin Luo. Even if RT Mart had no evidence, they would not let Lin Luo off easily. Lin Luo was not afraid of RT Mart finding evidence. What he feared was being detained for too long. If the detention lasted too long, the time would already have entered the glacial apocalypse. All of Lin Luo's previous preparations would go completely to waste. What he needed to do was wait for a suitable moment. A hidden door in the warehouse opened soundlessly, and someone sneaked in furtively. "Young Master Zhao, you can come in now," Jin Xiaowu said with a flattering smile. A man with a beer belly and an ugly face crawled in through the hidden door. Because the hidden door was rather small, it was extremely difficult for Zhao Su to get inside. Only with the help of Jin Xiaowu and the subordinates outside did he barely manage to squeeze in. "Jin Xiaowu, are you tired of living? I told you to bring me here to get revenge on Lin Luo, and yet you made me crawl through a dog hole." Zhao Su stood up in anger and viciously kicked Jin Xiaowu. "I failed to think it through. Please forgive me, young Master Zhao." Jin Xiaowu did not dare resist, and kept trying to ingratiate himself with Zhao Su. "Say again, how are we going to take revenge on Lin Luo?" Zhao Su said irritably. "Our RT Mart warehouse has a rule. If goods go missing during someone's shift, the person on duty will be punished according to the value of the missing goods. With Lin Luo's current position, if the value of the missing items exceeds 100,000, he will have to pack up and leave. You're not telling me the purpose of coming here is to steal something, are you? Of course not. I definitely haven't forgotten what young Master Zhao instructed me to do. I've already bribed the company's security personnel, and the surveillance footage will be missing for a period of time. We can give Lin Luo a good beating," Jin Xiaowu said with a fawning smile. Zhao Su was the richest second-generation heir in Xingfu community, and the company run by his father, Zhao Lidong, was worth over 2 billion. If he could really curry favor with Zhao Su, it would be even better than getting the position of warehouse manager. At least you know what's good for you. If you handle this well, I won't treat you badly. Zhao Su nodded. I'll move some pre-selected goods out, and it'll be done quickly. Then I'll give the security guys a heads up and have them shut off the surveillance. Jin Xiaowu had arranged everything long ago. He stole the goods and stored them in one place. After Lin Luo was fired by RT Mart, Jin Xiaowu would then find the goods. Then he just needed to spend some money to find 2 scapegoats to go to prison, and the matter would be settled. The amount stolen wasn't very large, so the 2 scapegoats wouldn't be in prison for long. What a hassle. "You 3, give us a hand." Zhao Su directed his men to help. Goods worth 120,000 to 130,000 were moved out, and the 5 of them began looking for Lin Luo. They put on masks to keep Lin Luo from recognizing them. Lin Luo usually likes to rest here. If my guess is right, he's definitely here. Jin Xiaowu led Zhao Su toward the place Lin Luo often stayed. When you see Lin Luo later, don't waste any words. Just go up and beat him half to death. Got it? Zhao Su said viciously. Got it. The three thugs held iron bars in their hands, looking very professional. Suddenly, the dazzling array of items on the shelves vanished all at once. Strange, how did the stuff on the shelves disappear all of a sudden? Zhao Su looked utterly bewildered. Jin Xiaowu rubbed his eyes hard and opened them again. It's not just the things on the shelves beside us that are gone. It's the things on all the shelves in the entire warehouse. The three thugs looked around in every direction, equally dumbfounded. Just moments ago, the entire warehouse was piled full of supplies. So why had everything suddenly disappeared? No matter who saw what was happening before their eyes, they would be unable to make sense of it for a long time. Jin Xiaowu. A familiar voice came from behind them. Lin Luo. Jin Xiaowu responded instinctively. Realizing he had misspoken, he quickly covered his mouth. So it really was you, Jin Xiaowu. You're truly vicious. Just to get me fired, you used such despicable means. Lin Luo said with a smile. Who's Jin Xiaowu? I don't know what you're talking about. Jin Xiaowu flatly denied. Lin Luo's smile grew even wider. If you hadn't said that just now, I still wouldn't have been able to tell it was you. Jin Xiaowu, you stole goods worth hundreds of billions from the main warehouse. That's a serious crime. If you're sentenced, you'll be executed by firing squad. Stop talking nonsense there. Those hundreds of billions worth of goods in the main warehouse have nothing to do with me. Jin Xiaowu hurriedly denied it. Lin Luo, stop spouting nonsense there, or I'll beat you to death. Zhao Su was no longer calm either. His family was indeed quite rich. Outside, they claimed to own a company worth tens of billions, but in reality, it was only worth a little over 3 billion. Compared with ordinary people, he was definitely rich. But compared with the hundreds of billions worth of goods in the main warehouse, Zhao Su's family assets seemed like a drop in the bucket. So it's Fatty Zhao. I didn't recognize it was you at first. Lin Luo smiled faintly. I hate it most when people call me fatso. Zhao Su was furious beyond measure and rushed forward to fight Lin Luo desperately. A man who usually indulged in eating, drinking, and fooling around with women was no match for Lin Luo. Lin Luo raised his leg and delivered a fierce kick. Zhao Su turned into a ball and slammed heavily into a shelf. A series of crashing sounds rang out. The shelf scattered into pieces and kept smashing down onto Zhao Su. Ouch! It hurt so much. Zhao Su let out a pig-like scream of agony. He shouted angrily at the thugs beside him. What are you three idiots standing there for? Why aren't you charging up and beating him half to death? The three thugs came to their senses and raised the clubs in their hands to attack Lin Luo. Lin Luo still wore a smile on his face, his gaze calm as he looked at the three men. When the three thugs were only half a meter away from Lin Luo, the warehouse doors were flung open with a bang. Nobody moved. Uniformed police officers rushed in one after another. The three thugs were so frightened by the sight of the police that the clubs in their hands dropped to the floor. Zhao Su and Jin Xiaowu turned ashen, knowing they were about to be finished. The disappearance of trillions worth of goods from RT Mart's main warehouse sent shockwaves through the entire RT Mart management. Lin Luo, Jin Xiaowu, Zhao Su, and the security guard on duty were all taken to the station for questioning. The primary suspects were Jin Xiaowu and Zhao Su. The two had entered the main warehouse without authorization, most likely with the intention of stealing. At first, the two kept denying it, saying they had only come to look around. Zhao Su really wanted to see what trillions worth of goods looked like, and as his good friend, Jin Xiaowu felt duty-bound to fulfill that wish. Anyone who wasn't an idiot would never believe their explanation. Seeing that the two were rather slippery old hands, the police started with the security guard on duty. Once he realized how serious the matter was, he immediately confessed everything. The main warehouse had been built many years ago, and the equipment had started to age, so the system required regular maintenance. Whenever the system was under maintenance, the surveillance equipment could not operate normally. After the security guard on duty confessed, the two of them could no longer withstand the interrogation and confessed everything as well. Jin Xiaowu had planned to steal supplies and frame Lin Luo, wanting his uncle Jin Tai to have a legitimate reason to fire Lin Luo. After Jin Tai fired Lin Luo, Jin Xiaowu would be able to take over as the warehouse's chief administrator. As for Zhao Su, because Lin Luo had once spoken rudely to him, he wanted to give Lin Luo a brutal beating. The police quickly summoned Jin Tai over, and with a livid face, he admitted to these matters. Jin Tai and his nephew, along with Zhao Su and the others, became key suspects. As the only staff member on duty at the main warehouse, Lin Luo was subjected to careful questioning by the police. After all, with trillions worth of goods missing, no one could be exempted. 5 days later, he finally walked out of the station. That's 2 days less than I predicted. They detained me for 5 days. Lin Luo took deep breaths of the fresh air outside and basked in the bright sunshine. Compared with life behind bars, being outside was far more comfortable. That night, when Jin Xiaowu brought Zhao Su and the others into the main warehouse, Lin Luo had already noticed them. While Jin Xiaowu was stealing the things he had prepared in advance, Lin Luo began using the strange space to take away the goods. Wherever his gaze swept, all the goods were drawn into the strange space. To keep Jin Xiaowu and the others from noticing anything unusual, Lin Luo moved to the more distant beverage section. Tens of thousands of tons of bottled water in large containers, thousands of Jin of bottled water, Coke, Fanta, and other drinks all entered the infinite space. He didn't miss a single bit while sweeping up supplies. Even a single bottle of Coke had to be stored in the strange space. After emptying out the beverage section, Lin Luo immediately went to the sanitation section, where tissues, disinfectant wipes, mops, and other supplies were all swept clean. After that, he didn't even know which section he had gone to next. As long as he put all the supplies into the strange space, that was enough. Lin Luo didn't leave out a single item, because in the glacial apocalypse, every bit of supplies was precious. He had personally lived through it once, so his feelings ran deeper than other people's. The supplies in RT Mart's main warehouse destined for more than 100 large supermarkets were rapidly decreasing at a speed visible to the naked eye. By the time Zhao Su and Jin Xiaowu noticed the strange situation nearby, Lin Luo had already emptied out trillions worth of goods. Honestly, Lin Luo really ought to thank Zhao Su and Jin Xiaowu. Otherwise, things would not have gone so smoothly. Especially when it came to the surveillance footage, there was no way he could have dealt with it. RT Mart's management was extremely strict. To prevent employees from stealing under the guise of their duties, warehouse management personnel were not allowed to enter the surveillance room without authorization. There were security personnel in the surveillance room 24 hours a day, making it very difficult for Lin Luo to get in. Originally, Lin Luo had already prepared for the worst. If he couldn't steal everything that day, he would just have to come back and do it another day. Fortunately, with the help of those two, Lin Luo's plan went surprisingly smoothly. Lin Luo sincerely hoped that good people would be rewarded and that the two of them would never make it out of the station. RT Mart had lost goods worth over 100 billion, so they definitely would not let it go easily. They would certainly investigate to the very end and keep working on those too. Just as Lin Luo had been released, RT Mart had not completely believed he was innocent either. Lin Luo was temporarily suspended and told to wait for notice before returning to work. As for this so-called waiting for notice, it would most likely mean only after the 100 billion worth of goods was recovered would he have a chance to go back to work. But the 100 billion worth of goods was all in Lin Luo's strange space, so how could they possibly find it? This was practically no different from being fired. Lin Luo had long known this would be the outcome, and he did not care at all. There were only 5 days left until the glacial apocalypse. To hell with 996 blessings and a monthly salary over 10,000. What he worried about most was the police becoming suspicious of him and having plainclothes officers follow him. Lin Luo walked a long way and did not see anyone suspicious. He felt he was just overthinking it. That among everyone, he was the least suspicious, and the police had no reason to suspect him, much less any need to have someone follow him. With no one tailing him, Lin Luo finally relaxed. His recent behavior had indeed been somewhat unusual. If the police investigated him carefully, even if they could not find evidence, they could still identify Lin Luo as a criminal suspect. But with the police's attention on him, he definitely would not be able to act freely, which would seriously affect his plan. Without being a key focus of the police, Lin Luo could not help but feel greatly cheered, and his appetite improved a lot as well. Those 5 days in the station had really stifled Lin Luo. Having grown used to delicacies from land and sea, gnawing on coarse corn buns in jail again was truly hard to get used to. Lin Luo was ready to splurge wildly and properly reward himself. He went into a nearby high-end restaurant and ordered the most expensive items on the menu. When the waiter brought over the dishes he had ordered, they filled an entire table: Australian lobster, wild sea cucumber, pufferfish, premium steak, and more. Lin Luo was already starving and could not wait to dig in. The way many people looked at Lin Luo carried more or less a bit of disdain. They thought that in a high-end restaurant, one ought to chew slowly and savor the food. How could one eat like Lin Luo did, wolfing it down? It was no different from a cow chewing peonies. Lin Luo paid these people no mind at all and continued feasting heartily. These people might seem noble, frequenting all kinds of high-end restaurants, but after the glacial apocalypse, if these gentlemen and socialites went hungry for a few days, then when they saw premium food in front of them, all elegance and etiquette would vanish. They would be even crazier than Lin Luo was now. Lin Luo swept the whole table clean, then comfortably wiped his mouth with a disposable napkin. This restaurant was rather expensive, but the ingredients and the taste were indeed excellent. Lin Luo called over a waiter and ordered 10 full tables of dishes of the same standard, including the one table he had just finished. The total came to a full 100,000 yuan. At a nearby table, a group of socialites dressed beautifully and wearing exquisite makeup cast envious looks at Lin Luo. The only reason they had been able to come to this high-end restaurant was by pooling their money together. They had ordered a big table of dishes, taken turns finishing their photos before eating, and compared with Lin Luo's lavishness, they were nowhere close. At once, the socialites became animated and wanted Lin Luo's contact information. Hadn't they schemed so carefully for exactly this reason, to find a rich second-generation boyfriend? And now there was one ready-made right in front of them. Lin Luo paid no attention to these so-called socialites. He knew their tricks all too well. His ex-girlfriend Su Xuanyu and her best friend Xing Fangfang were even better at these schemes than these socialites. After leaving the high-end restaurant, Lin Luo headed toward his home. During the time he had been taken to the station, the space station security company had already finished building the safe house. At most, it took only 7 days in total. The speed was truly astonishing. By the time he arrived at his doorstep, Tian Xiaoyu had already been waiting outside. "Mr. Lin, the safe room was completed yesterday. We wanted you to inspect it yesterday, but we just couldn't reach you no matter what. Fortunately, we managed to contact you today." Tian Xiaoyu showed a professional smile. "Sorry, I was at the station yesterday, so it was normal that my phone couldn't be reached," Lin Luo explained. "Ah." Tian Xiaoyu's smile stiffened a little. "Boss Lin, you really do like joking around. I'm being completely serious, not joking at all." After Lin Luo said this, Tian Xiaoyu immediately took several steps back. Tian Xiaoyu really wanted to say that she had training, but that might only make the person in front of her even more excited. No matter how much a girl trains, her strength still can't compare to a boy's. So-called taekwondo and karate might very well become something that excites a criminal. "Why are you scared?" "I was only questioned over work-related issues," Lin Luo explained with a smile. Oh, so that's how it is." Tian Xiaoyu looked Lin Luo over again. She felt that someone as good-looking as Lin Luo shouldn't be a bad person. Tian Xiaoyu also thought that there were residents all around and that it was broad daylight, so Lin Luo wouldn't dare do anything. After the two entered the house, Tian Xiaoyu began her introduction. The window glass uses anti-theft glass, and the edges use aluminum alloy tempered materials. It is basically impossible for people outside to get in through the windows. The ventilation system has undergone a strict redesign and can filter out most harmful gases. We also set up a shutoff system for you that can directly isolate the outside air. Inside, we pre-installed an oxygen system for you, which brings in breathable oxygen and expels harmful gases. Once activated, it can last for a long time. As for the heating system that Boss Lin emphasized the most, we also arranged it carefully. We removed the painted wall finish and reinstalled it with various insulating materials. Now the entire house retains heat even better than some Arctic safe rooms. You can clearly feel that it's much warmer inside than outside. Outside the house, our company also installed miniature cameras so Boss Lin can stay familiar with the situation in the corridor and foresee danger in advance. We also reinforced the security door, so people outside simply can't open it. We reinforced the house's beams and pillars, so no matter how much the people upstairs make trouble, you don't need to worry about it collapsing. The same goes for downstairs. We used space station construction technology, so even if the floor below collapses, your home will still stand suspended in the air. Tian Xiaoyu was highly professional and gave a very detailed introduction. "I'm very satisfied." Lin Luo nodded and said, "Boss Lin, about the payment." Tian Xiaoyu trailed off. "Give me an account number, and I'll transfer the money right now." "Okay." Tian Xiaoyu took out the company's bank account information, and Lin Luo transferred the money. "The payment has been received." "Thank you, Boss Lin." Tian Xiaoyu's smile grew even brighter. "Does your company have anthracite coal, diesel generators, and things like that?" Among the goods worth over 100 billion, Lin Luo had not found such items. Anthracite coal, diesel generators, diesel, and other restricted items might exist in supermarkets in the beautiful country. In the Dragon Kingdom, these things are strictly controlled and simply couldn't possibly be in our T-Mart warehouse.